Making his way to the set from Venice Beach, California, 6'7", 302 pounds. He is a six-time WWE champion, a six-time WCW champion, and owner of the world's most famous 24-inch pythons, the one, the only, Hulk Hogan.
What's up, brother?
Hulk Hogan.
Good to see you, my friend.
What a pleasure to have you on here.
Thank you for having me. Thank
One
you.
of the world's biggest Hulkamaniacs right here.
Oh, thank you.
And I was at WrestleMania 1 at Madison Square Garden.
You're dating yourself now, but thank you.
And I'm going to date us both even more. We're coming up, Hulk, on the 25th anniversary of your body slam of Andre the Giant in WrestleMania 3. What are your memories of that day and that moment?
Well, that was a tough day because Andre, the 500-pound Andre the Giant, was closer to 700 pounds. He had had back surgery the year before, and he was, winding down, and he gained a lot of weight, and we just didn't know. Andre was the greatest guy in the world, but he had his moments, and if he had a moment, you wouldn't want to be anywhere around. So I was basically, hoping that it would be a good day, and it was. We got in the ring, the match got going. It was as brutal as usual. Andre was a nice guy, but at 700 pounds, he was very heavy-handed. And when the time came to try to pick him up, I couldn't do it, and I fell backwards with him. And then later on in the match, I kind of got him off balance, and when I picked him up, I got him to here. I said, oh, my God, I'm going to get him. And when I turned him, before I slammed him, my whole back muscle ripped out, my tricep and my shoulder. So it was done one time in front of 94,000 people, and I don't think it'll ever be done again.
If there was ever a time to do it, that was it. Almost every athlete talks about winning a championship for the first time, and the first time being extra special. What do you remember about the night of January 23rd, 1984, when you beat the Iron Sheik at Madison Square Garden?
Well, the country was at a fever pitch with the American-Iran controversy. We were politically and on the verge of a major breakdown between both countries. So the political environment was as such that storyline-wise, the All-American Hulk Hogan versus the Iron Sheik, who really was the Shah of Iran's bodyguard many, many years before, and he was a silver medalist. To have that type of real political environment, along with the creative storyline of wrestling, peaking at the same time, once I won the belt, my whole life really changed. From that point on, when I walked out the front door, I wasn't Terry anymore. When I walked out the front door, I was Hulk Hogan, brother. So from that point on, from that day forward, my life changed. It became the fastest ride of my life. Hulkamania just took off for over 20 years because I was the only guy. There was no Rock, there was no Stone Cold, so I was the only guy for quite a long time, and it's been a great ride.
You were Hulk Hogan for a while, but you were also Thunder Lips. You really became a mainstream celebrity when you appeared in Rocky III. How did you end up getting that role?
Well, I was actually at Allentown, Pennsylvania. We used to do the wrestling tapings there, and I got a Western Union letter from Mr. Stallone who wanted me to be in Rocky III, and I was a huge Rocky fan from the first two movies, so I took the Western Union letter and threw it away. Because in our business, it's called a rib. The wrestlers are always teasing each other. And there's no way I would have ever been in a Rocky movie, so I went to Japan for about 8 weeks. And when I came back, I actually came back to Allentown, Pennsylvania to do more TV tapings. I got another letter, emergency, Stallone wants you for Rocky III, and I called him, and I got the part in the movie.
How about that? Great story there. Now, you've got a match coming up this Sunday facing Sting in a TNA pay-per-view event. You've been in wrestling for 4 decades now. What's it going to be like when you enter the ring this weekend?
Well, it was very unexpected, and it's not going to be a match. It's going to be a fight. The main event at Bound for Glory this weekend is our Olympic hero Kurt Angle versus Bobby Roode. He's worked his way up the ranks to be the #1 contender. That's the main event. The icing on the cake is the fact that Hulk Hogan is getting in the ring with Sting for a fight. I basically run Impact Wrestling. I'm in control of the company. I've been trying to take it to another level, and it's a great company. We're on one heck of a roll, but sometimes when you rule with an iron fist, you get some people that are happy, some people that aren't. And Sting and I don't see eye to eye, so with all the whining, complaining, and the moaning, I said, okay, look, enough's enough. Let's work this out the way we know how in the ring. And since I can't wrestle, because of all the surgeries and stuff, I figured we'll tape the fist up and go at it. So it's the icing on the cake this weekend.
You can catch it on pay-per-view this weekend. We're excited to see it. How about for old time's sake? I mean, I'm no Mean Gene Okerlund, but can you take us out of this segment promoting this weekend in Hulk Hogan fashion?
Well, I'll give it a shot. Well, Let me tell you something, brother. Hulk Hogan here, the greatest of all time. And this weekend at our Super Bowl of wrestling, Bound for Glory, Hulk Hogan is going to punch Sting's lights out, brother. So what you going to do when Hulk Hogan in Impact Wrestling run wild on you, brother?